What's up, everybody? This is Talkin All That Kazz, and I am DJ Kazzeo. I want to thank you for checking out this particular episode of Talkin All That Kazz. On this particular episode, I got another great interview that I conducted here on my radio show at 90.9 FM KHTC in Salinas, California. But before we get going with that, I want you to go to this address, djkazzeo.com, and connect with me on social media. Whether it's on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, or even if you go and subscribe to my Mixcloud channel, you can hear all my radio shows that I do in their entirety, music, commentary, and interviews. But this right here, Talkin All That Kazz, this is for just the interviews, okay? I want to thank everybody who checked out the first round of interviews that I put up. Now we're on to the second round. This particular round, I'm going to focus on 2019, but I'm going to sprinkle it in with some more current stuff too. So you never know what you're going to get. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy another edition of Talkin All That Kazz with me, DJ Kazzeo. That's right. Back in the building right here. It's 90.9 FM KHTC Radio Bilingüe, Monterey and Santa Cruz counties, live and direct on 90.9 and 104.1 FM if you're out in San Benito County, streaming live everywhere on the planet at djkazzeo.com. I told you earlier in the show I was going to be talking to a very special guest, and guess what? It is that time. It is that time to talk to my man, Eloh Kush. What's going on, bro?
Peace, man. Peace. How you doing?
I'm well, man. I'm well. How are you doing tonight?
Everything's good, man. Thank you for having me on your platform.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Had a chance to catch up with you a few weeks back on the Rap Attack conference call, and as soon as Sharif reached out and was like, "Hey, man, you want to have Eloh on the show?" I'm like, "Damn right, I want to have Eloh on the show. Let's make this happen." Yeah. So, you know, we had to flip a couple things around, but we finally got it done.
Appreciate it, man. You know, appreciate it. I take everything as a great honor, in this day and time. There's 3 billion artists out here. So when you make moves to make sure I'm on deck, appreciation goes a long way.
Oh, no doubt, man, no doubt. So, obviously I've known the name, and I've known some of the records that have come out over the past few years, but in doing my research and looking back, I was amazed. You got 14 albums.
Yeah.
That's a crazy amount, man. And that's like since what, about 2013?
Yeah, just putting in, I was made aware of that from somebody else, and they informed me that I didn't even understand that. That's a lot of work. That
is, man. That's a little bit more than that's like 1.5 albums a year.
Yeah, definitely. I put out 3 this year.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah. So I was looking on your website, and while I was getting some of the information off there, one thing I noticed, there really isn't a comprehensive bio on Eloh Kush. So give me the background. I mean, what part of the country are you coming out of, and how do you get started doing this thing called rap?
Well, I'm from New Brunswick, New Jersey. It's like Central Jersey. In the middle, we like 30 minutes from New York and 45 minutes from Philly.
Right.
So we right smack dead in the middle. So it's been my nucleus of hip hop. I first seen hip hop there. I first experienced hip hop there. My start in hip hop was actually through a jazz aspect. Jazz was my first actual musical expression besides writing poetry. Amari Baraka, he started me in poetry, reading his books, The Last Poets.
Right.
Brothers to that degree. But then jazz, I tried to replicate my expression through jazz, playing the trumpet and the saxophone, and trying to mimic the greats like Lee Morgan or Archie Shepp. But, hip-hop, I was first exposed to it through DJ Cheese, who was from Plainfield. He was a DJ. He had a 12-inch that blew my mind, but it was Public Enemy, the first record, showing what I got, showing what you got.
No, right.
Blew my brains out, man.
Now, DJ Cheese, he was with word of mouth, right?
Yeah. Like,
King Cut. Don't let your fingers get soft. Come on, go off. Go off.
Oh, man, you know what I'm talking about.
I know that record. I know that record very well, man.
Blew my mind. It's like, you know, and especially if you know the history from my side of the globe, New Brunswick and Plainfield never got along.
Right.
And however, that actual 12-inch, it was a black record with a white sleeve. I remember that.
Yeah,
and it was playing through all the neighborhoods, you know, especially on Townsend Street where I was from. That he definitely played that.
So, you know, you mentioned that you were doing some jazz stuff. When you're doing your production now, do you ever supply any of the sounds, or you let the producer do the sounds?
I strive to stay in my lane, you know, like I may, you know, if I'm conversing with a producer, like I may tell him something like I heard in my head, like I can't really, you know, do the production. Well, let me not say can't. I haven't applied myself to do the production, but I'm so focused on becoming the best artist, musician that I can be. Like I'm trying to overmaster my craft of writing and expression. So in basic terms, I let them do what they do, and I stay in my lane with the writing.
Right. Concentrate on that, and like you said, you know, perfect it to the umpteenth degree. And
Absolutely.
Then you know, maybe at some point down the line, you know, when you say like, well, I got an idea for the certain sound, but you're not capturing it, so let me just play it, and you throw it in there, you know.
Yeah, you know. Supply the demand, you know.
So you also mentioned the Public Enemy record. You know, was that? I mean, between the Public Enemy record and the DJ Cheese Word of Mouth record, you know, what would you say was the first record? Because everybody has this. Everybody has that one record that when they first hear it, they memorize it and they could recite it. And it's like the first record they ever like actually could recite. Is there one record you have like that in your head?
Wow. X-Clan Verbal Milk.
Nice.
Verbal Milk. That's actually the mold that I'm from. Him, Tragedy Gaddafi, Wise Intelligent, Chuck D, Blastmaster KRS-One. You know,
right.
Those are like the initial, and Ice Cube, and molding my mind. Like for the first hip hop records that you had to go on the hunt to find, and I definitely think Verbal Milk stands out to me.
See,
when you ask that question,
you know, I'm glad you mentioned Ice Cube because, you know, to me, I mean, granted, I don't agree with some of the things he's done recently, his comments recently, and his ideologies recently. But if you go back and you look at like his artistmanship, or however you say that word, artistry, you know, if you listen to like the way he writes his lyrics, Ice Cube is a really talented lyricist. You know, if he's intricate and he says a lot of like creative stuff, and you know, maybe the way he says it, you don't, it kind of like turns you off. But like I said, I mean, he's really a really tremendous lyricist. So go ahead.
I think staying on the Ice Cube part, to me, he's like, if you flip the quarter, he's like the quintessential MC to me. Like, I think, because he represents hip hop. Like to me, like in my time, hip hop is supposed to scare the out of you, man. Like it's supposed to be, it was the CNN of the streets, the hieroglyphics of the world. So when I first heard How to Survive in South Central, right? This is before I moved to California, because I moved to California too in the '80s. That was hieroglyphics for LA. You know, like it was just such a raw record. So yeah, but I understand what you're saying too, though. Ice Cube's definitely one of the unspoken greatest writers. When he gets his accolades, but like one of the great writers, he's definitely one of them.
I think a little bit of times though, the image, like, you know, people put him in that gangster image. When yeah, sure, he kind of portrays that in some aspects and in a lot of aspects, but like I said, the artistry and the wordplay is just, it's beyond just being put in that gangster category.
Correct.
You know.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
You know, you also mentioned Tragedy Gaddafi and Wise Intelligent. Have you had a chance to work with any of them?
Wise Intelligent and Trad, yes. We have records in the stash that we've done. Wise more of is in the mentorship, like, you know, for up close and personal. Being he's from Trenton, New Jersey, which is not far from New Brunswick, you know, like it's like right there. So they're two different cities who also collide in the street. But Wise is one of the great leaders from Jersey, one of the greatest lyricists in hip hop. Tragedy is more molding from a distance. You know, we definitely recorded together, but I haven't sat down with him and had a lengthy, conversation with him. But yeah, they're both two icons in my eye and in my mind, and they're definitely predecessors to molding my style.
No question, man. No question. So some of the people, I looked through some of the people you've worked with. You worked with Supreme Cerebral on a couple albums. You had John Robinson on one, which I love the name, Ebony Ronin. If you're a comic book fan, that's a really good good title right there. Jay Rawls on the Valor album, and Raz Beats on the Way or the Law of Least Effort. But the current album, which is Live from the Whirlwind, I mean, talk to me about that, man. Who are some of the people you worked with on this album?
So, Live from the Whirlwind is a collaborative project where I did all the emceeing, and the production is handled by a young Jedi from California named Clipto. He produced Clark Connoisseurs 1 and 2, the project with Supreme Cerebral, my brother Supreme. Shout out Big Preem on the West. So in this project, it was more of a personal expression. So I think I have Jabatan is on there. He's on the first song called Gaia. I have Supreme Cerebral on there on the last joint called Camel Clocks. I also have who else is on there? I have Jada the Gift on there on the song called High Science. And I think that's it. And at least I'm missing somebody. I don't think I am. But,
well, I know there were two tracks that really have been standing out to me. Was Maintain stands out, as well as High Science with Gifty the God. Which is what we're going to get into in just a second here. But I could tell. So you're a shoe guy, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a Wallaby head. I'm a Clark head.
for those that may not be up on it, what exactly are Clarks?
Wallaby Clarks or the shoe for the Dundadas, man, for the kings. It's Emperor shoes, man. It's like they're a shoe that was started in Jamaica, a London-based company, but was really started, one in Jamaica. It's a very smooth shoe, and today it's just stylish. I like to be, not play duck goose. I like to be eclectic and unique in whatever I do, whether it's reading, dressing, approach to whatever it is. But the Wallaby helps me accomplish that state of mind and that state of being. I feel extra comfortable with those.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So the website is elohkush.com. That's ELOHKUSH.com. You can catch him on Instagram at Eloh Kush. You can catch him on Twitter at Eloh Kush. And any other final words before I let you go and we jump into this High Science record?
Yo, I just want to say peace to all my peoples on the West Coast, Midwest, all my loved ones out there. My Inglewood family, my Compton family out there, my brother Preem on the West Coast. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in, that streamed the record, that's talked about the record, that brought the record. All the DJs, y'all make the world go around. So salute to all the DJs that's spinning the record.
That's right.
And make sure you go get that Live from the Whirlwind. First, go to elohkush.com. Then go to all your streaming platforms and download it, purchase it, to keep great independent artists like myself alive, and then stream it.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Well, you know what, man? I look forward to having you back on when the next project comes up and ready. And, man, continued success. Thanks for taking the time to call in tonight. And I'm going to talk to you real soon, all right?
I appreciate the platform, brother. Be safe. Be healthy.
Likewise, man. Peace.
Peace.